You have found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, me and Pat are going to talk about another clutch win by the Chicago Bulls that just continue to confound us with their ability to beat the good teams and lose to the bad teams. I don't know. We're going to talk about it today. We're also talking about Alex Caruso having a big night shooting and Kobe and DeMar stepping up big time in the fourth quarter as well. We're going to get to all that and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm HAize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. Pat, this team, man, 16-point lead at one point against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then going down, I believe. I don't think they were down by more than 3 at any point in this game. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. It went from a game where the Bulls were, and don't get me wrong, throughout this game, the Bulls they won the rebounding battle. They won the points off turnover battle, even though they technically had more turnovers than the Minnesota Timberwolves. We played solidly enough in the paint where we had enough there, won the fast break point battle, but this was still a point in the game where the Bulls, of course, gave up the lead. But I will say this, whereas sometimes when the Bulls give up the lead, they don't show that heart that the other team shows. The Bulls in this game matched that throughout most part, really allowed their defense and rebounding kind of set up the offense easily in this game. Pat, how do you feel about the Bulls being yet another a team that came into this game tied for number one in the Western Conference, and they just lost to the Chicago Bulls for the second time in a row? The Bulls sweep the season series against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Listen, it's first off the allowing a lead to allowing a lead to get away. I think we're at a point in the NBA when we can stop saying that. Like every team lets leads get away at this point. Yeah, I mean, like it's not. A 20-point lead anymore is not safe. Brian talked about that on the pod with him and JJ Redick, how when that light-skinned effort came into the NBA, right, all of a sudden no lead was safe. You was benching your team if you was up 20. So I'm fine with the Bulls. Listen, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, they really were running the floor well today. And so seeing them be able to claw their way back into that game wasn't surprising to me at all. I mean, listen, it's as weird as it is to say, as down as I think most people are on this team, this is a team that speaks to a team that can be competitive in a play-in series, which may not be what some people want. But when you look at a 25-16 clutch game record, you are almost 10 games above 500 in the clutch. Those are the important games when you talk about those play-in games. So when you see the Bulls get another clutch win, would you like them to be in a better situation? Of course. Would you like them to have not lost to the Wizards and the freaking Pistons twice this season? Of course. But then you start to see kind of the stats that matter when you get into playoff series. And the one thing that I loved about what the Bulls did today, the things they did in the clutch was really did not allow any great looks from the three-point line for Minnesota to be able to knock down. I thought they defended it really well. The addition of Javonte Green is instant. Listen, having him back is just like there's 5 Javontes out there. And so when you see how the Bulls kind of defend the three-point line well today with AC, Javonte out there, Io doing some really good things. I thought they had some really good switching action. When you're a team that's still taking sub 33 pointers, that's how you got to play on the defensive end. Getting another clutch win is not a bad thing here. It's a confusing thing, but it's not a bad thing.
He said the Bulls shooting the ball sub 30 3-point attempts. I mean, they were 29 today, and they hit it at a 58% clip. Now, 7 of those come from Alex Caruso. Yeah. He goes 7 of 8 from the field as well. And Kobe White going 4 of 6, who may have found a shot again. We're going to talk about that in the last segment of this episode. But overall, the way that the Bulls performed in this game, like you said, is how you need a team to play. And I love that the defense we played on Anthony Edwards, we forced Anthony Edwards to an inefficient night tonight. 9 of 20 from the field overall. Now, it's not hugely inefficient. Yeah, and 6 turnovers. In that time, he had more turnovers than assists. So, the way that the Bulls defense, and this is the thing we know, despite having terrible one-on-one defenders in DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic out there for the minutes that they play. This is still a team that can be a plus defensive team. And I would even say this, having Ayo Dosunmu and Alex Caruso out there together. And at this point now, you're having one of either Caruso, Javonte Green, Ayo Dosunmu, and even Dalen Terry out there at times now. And I tell you what, those guys are terrible getting in passing lanes. Dalen Terry doesn't get the steals that like an Alex Caruso gets, but he still gets a lot of deflections and changes the trajectory of of passes. And so when you can keep one or two of those players out there at any point in time for a team like the Timberwolves that do want to try to get out and run, it really does help your offense be more efficient in getting those easy shots.
Yeah, and I think, when you've got the Bulls we've said this before, they have a great team of role players. Yeah, I mean, they have a great team of guys who are willing to do anything for a win. You talk about Dalen Terry. I think the role he's kind of taken on is he's willing to sacrifice his body for anything minus something P. Diddy would be involved in. You know what I mean? Like you really love how he's able to move around on the court, how he's willing to throw himself in front of somebody who's driving downhill. I saw him step in front of Rudy Gobert tonight. I was like, hey, young fella, like, what that could end up as. Yeah, I mean, it just ended up being a foul. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the chart. Oh God, get the diddler out of here. The diddler's in the building. Get him out of here. He's on the run. Him and Rasheed Rice. But just I don't know, man. Like this team has the sum of the parts right now, but you still need that number one piece. And I think that's why when you see somebody step up big like you do tonight, now all of a sudden you're talking about a Bulls team that's able to pull out a win. When you see an Alex Caruso night, when you see a DeMar DeRozan or a Kobe White night, when there's multiple options where you're like, man, these guys are actually knocking down shots at a consistent rate, at a high clip, and actually getting guys out of position offensively, then all of a sudden it's just like, where's this basketball team been? Like what changed here? Somebody got hot. Unfortunately, somebody got hot is not only a Diddy soundtrack, but it seems like it's going to be the theme of the Chicago Bulls for the rest of the season.
You're never going to let Diddy live, are you?
No, dog, no.
Hey, did you see him over the weekend? He was at like some party and like, what I think they said, what was it? I think it was in Miami. Like, it's just, hey, whatever.
It's scary out here, dog.
It's scary,
they just
bro.
let him walk around,
could you imagine walking into a party and Diddy's just there? Like, could you imagine what that, like, you just walk into a party, minding your own business, and you see Diddy there, and you're just like, is everybody else okay with this? Is this what we doing?
Bro, you just looking around, dog. Wait, what's, y'all good with this? What's happening here? Are we okay? Are we accepting? I'm concerned. Are there children here? Oh, dog.
Oh, man.
Jesus, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Walking into a party nowadays and seeing Diddy in the party seems like it would be terrifying, bro. Yeah, I mean, that would be fairly scary. Like,
which one would you be more terrified of? You walk into a party and you see Diddy there, or you're in the studio recording and they buzz you and say, hey, Mike Tyson's outside. He wants to talk to you about something you said about him on the podcast.
Definitely Diddy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Tyson's I feel like he's at like a conversational point in his life. You know what I mean? I will walk out there and then like if Mike Tyson knocked me out in real life, like I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna be rich because like I didn't do nothing to deserve getting hit. So I'm fine with that. With Diddy, I don't want those riches. I don't want those riches.
Those riches come with mad trauma, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, you walk into the party and see Diddy in there, you just looking like this. You just looking like buddy.
Oh, God. Oh, man. You gotta stop, bro.
Oh, God.
You gotta stop, man.
Hey, what Bears Junkie say? I thought I told you that we won't stop.
I tell you what, if me and Pat walk into a party and P. Diddy's there, bro, you got 90 seconds. Because I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, code 12. If you not out there, I'm leaving, bro. Like they gonna be like, you left Pat. He knew the procedure. He took the risk.
Hey, code 12 is great, bro. Code 12 0676.
Oh man, that's hilarious, bro. But glad that the Bulls pulled out another clutch win, man. Like you said,
You're not getting this on no other show, bro. You're not getting this on no other show.
So
What y'all want us to say about this Bulls team, dog?
Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, I'm glad overall that the Bulls were able to pull out the win. And next up, we're going to be talking about the reasons why the Bulls were able to do that. That's the shooting from Alex Caruso. Seems to always step up his shooting when the Bulls need it the most. But before we talk about that, I want to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, and that is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million users. It's the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more than or less than on 2 or more player stats and watch the winnings roll in. March is over, but the biggest moments in college basketball tip off the month of April. Be a part of the action on PrizePicks for both men's and women's college basketball. Get in on the playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level during basketball's postseason. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $100 with basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries today on PrizePicks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. So download download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA for a first deposit match up to $100. That's PrizePicks. That's Locked On NBA first deposit match up to $100.
The Marines be whooping your ass sometimes,
bro. No, it's not that. That's whooping my ass. You know.
It wasn't a Diddy party.
No, don't you do that. Don't you ever put that on my name, my guy. Hold on.
Did you see somebody made a first off, this has been a great weekend on Twitter for y'all. Y'all been going ham. Somebody made me in MLB The Show 24 and shared it on Twitter.
Bro, I retweeted it today. Yeah,
and then
bro.
Somebody did like crop the picture and put it over your face. On the picture. And for some reason, the Diddy picture is behind us. Like, must been going crazy.
Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. And it's not because of you. This isn't nothing that you can do. But you gotta tell. So I don't know what you need to do. Joel and JC are the most awkward picture takers. Like they look like their head, like they look like they were at a Diddy party. Somebody was like, "Hey, say cheese."
Hey man, I can't fix that.
That's why I said it's not on you. That's not a you thing. But bro. Like if somebody was to crop them out and put them at that day party Diddy was at in the background, they fit right in, bro.
God,
I would completely believe that's where they were.
Just that uncomfortable face that Jay-Z had. Bro.
It's just like, that
uncomfortable face Jay-Z had when he was like, "We all business winners and we all leaders out here." Jay-Z.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But anyway, to get back on track, I don't know why the diddler's back there though. That was weird. But hey, what are we talking about? The night that Alex Caruso had,
big night, dog.
7 of 8 from 3-point line was Alex Caruso. All he took was 3-pointers today as well. He also chipped in 5 assists, 5 steals, 5 rebounds. We talked about, at the start of the season, Alex Caruso had said that he really wanted his offensive intensity to match what he brought defensively. And for the most part, he's brought that this season. Now, he hasn't turned himself into like a true scorer, but it feels like Caruso is always on point when the Bulls need it the most. Not any type of other than, maybe a first team all defense, not any type of postseason awards, but like Caruso's been so important for the Bulls this season, bro.
Man, listen, when you talk about how he's kind of turned himself back into a 3-point shooter, this is the best 3-point shooting season of his NBA career. Now, you can look at some of the other highs and say, well, Patty shot 40% before. Alex Caruso has taken 200 more 3-pointers than he did at any point on the Lakers to this point, and we still got games to go. He's also taken 150 plus more than he's ever taken as a Chicago Bull, and he's knocking it down at the highest clip of his career at 40% here. Was a season with the Lakers, he's knocked down like 48%, but he took 50 3-pointers on the season. Yeah, I mean, like there's some context there. So I think that he's absolutely stepped up in a major way. You look at how he's shooting from the field, 47% from the field overall. He's still giving you all of the defensive intensity. He is exactly the type of piece that you would want if this Bulls team were in a better position. Right now, he's kind of got to play that, I don't know, who we say, it's not really a Kirk Heinrich role. Who would we say from that like baby Bulls team? Like guess kind of like the Luol Deng role a little bit, right? He's kind of playing that like anything y'all need me to do, I can go out there and get it done for you. You need me to guard the best guy on the floor? Yeah, I got you. You need me to shoot some threes? Yeah, I got you. You need me to be able to drive the lane? Yeah, I got you, right? And I love the fact that it's kind of like rubbing off on Ayo Dosunmu, and you're seeing him kind of step up in that way as well. And now you're seeing now we've got like where you had one Caruso on the team. Now you're seeing like 2, 3, 4 guys who are kind of stepping up and taking on that role. You add back a Javonte Green, who's kind of just the guy focused on the defensive side, so Caruso can focus a little bit more offensively. And in that time, I mean, we've seen Alex Caruso ball out offensively since then, minus that like a Brooklyn Nets game, which is, again, we don't know. Like, we're confused. But like, just lost to the Nets by 25, beat the best team in the West. Who knows? I got nothing for you. But I think the fact that you're seeing AC really step up offensively more, making him more of a threat. Now you're seeing more of his facilitating skills be able to come through. Now you're seeing him be able to get a lot more people involved as well. Like, I just think that this is the best version of Alex Caruso that we've probably seen in his career. And honestly, it's a version that speaks to his career lasting longer, because I'm not going to lie, watching like how AC played last year, where it was just like, I just got to throw my body everywhere and be everywhere and make sure that, you know, if somebody's going to die on the floor, it's going to be me. It's not speaking to a very long career. Yeah.
Yeah. To put it in perspective, as far as you saying that Alex Caruso is playing the best ball of his career, Alex Caruso is 31 points away from scoring more points this season than his first 2 years in Chicago combined. To take that further, if he scores those 31 more points, he scored more points than he did the first 3 years in LA combined.
Yeah.
Caruso has stepped up hugely for the Chicago Bulls this season. And, I think because he doesn't always have the stats that jump out the sheet that people don't quite understand. Like, it's not easy. We saw Jimmy Butler do it. It's not easy to be the team's best on-ball defender and to turn around and put up a ton of points.
Right.
And while Caruso hasn't done it to the level that Jimmy ever did it, he's still doing it at a level that not many people in the NBA can do. And the fact that we signed him to be a bench player, he's supposed to be our first guard off the bench. Because of injuries, he's never been able to do that. He's playing power forward for us. Let's put all that into perspective as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's so much that listen, you can't put it into words, honestly, the impact that he has on the floor. I mean, like, even on the nights where he's taken 4 shots, when he's not out there defensively, what are you gonna do? I mean, like, you see how the defense looks completely different when he's not out there. You know, even as a vocal leader, you see how the defense looks completely different, and it's just his impact on the court is one that, to me, is very difficult to measure. On nights like tonight, you really can see it because you see the offensive stats jump out. But like nights like tonight, to me, impact the next, what do we have? 8 games left in the season, right? 7 games left in the season, because now it's like, oh man, he got hot from the 3-point line. Now I got to play him on the 3-point line. Now it allows him to drive. Now it allows him to give you the drive and kick option. Now you can run some pick and roll action with him. It opens so many things up. And I love the fact that we have a player like him on this team. I hate the fact that it may not end up, being a long-term solution for the Bulls, because who knows when they're going to get to their actual winning ways, and if AC is still a part of the team by then.
Yeah, I mean, AC's done a great job, and we'll see how much longer he's going to be with the Chicago Bulls. I do think with the way that he's playing, I would not be surprised if that trade deadline teams may be willing to meet with the Bulls offer. I mean, what request was, because like you look at a team that's going to try to go on an actual championship run, they may be willing to give that. I'm not saying that the Bulls should give it up, but Caruso's he's been great, man. And that's why I like going over the numbers when it comes to Caruso, because you got to do that compared to what he's brought before, because I think everybody understands the way that Caruso impacted the game. That's why, when you have somebody like, what was the guy's name? Montez, he was like, there's no way Caruso should be playing as many minutes as he does. Like, you're like, stop it. Stop it. There's no way you can watch the game of basketball and not understand that Alex Caruso impacts one.
Who said that?
But that dude with the receding hairline, Montez, he got the he got the Chris Middleton hairline. Like,
I don't even know who he is. I love that you thought that was going to just make him stand out to me, though.
There's a lot of bad hairlines out there, bro. That's something that I've realized since I started flaming hairlines. I'm like, A lot of you guys have bad hairlines.
Hey, bro, some bad hairlines in the game, bro. It's kind of concerning. It's a lot of people out here. I saw a dude at the game, no lie, bro, full boozer, like in public. Like when we went to that Pacers game, he might have been sitting in your uncle's seats, no cap, like full boozer, bro. It was concerning. I got nervous. I thought somebody I was going to hear grab that Joe. I didn't know what was going to happen, bro. Like
that's crazy.
But no, yeah, it's some bad hairlines out there. Before we get into this final topic, where we got to talk about Kobe and DeMar and how they stepped up in the fourth quarter big. And has Kobe finally found that shooting stroke? You got to say that quickly together there. No diddy. First, we got to tell you guys all about Amazon Fire TV. Fire TV is your destination for sports, from live games to highlights, in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers an amazing viewing experience with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV that provides access to millions of movies and TV episodes, as well as free and live TV. Whether it's opening weekend for baseball or the college basketball tournament, you're going to want to have Fire TV, unless you're watching the White Sox, man. My God, just don't do it to yourself. Fire TV recently created a Fire TV channel to deliver a consistent supply of the latest videos from your favorite sports brands, all for free. That includes us at Locked On and most of the big pro leagues and college conferences as well. Fire TV lets you dive in to all the game analysts, highlights, and more to keep you up to date with the latest in the world of sports, March Madness, NBA, MLB, and lots more. Not to mention great news, entertainment, gaming, travel, cooking videos as well. Check out Fire TV on Fire TV and Alexa devices. If you haven't checked out Fire TV channels, you should. Trust me. To learn more, visit Amazon.com/Fire TV.
All right there, Pat. I forgot what I was going to say. I had a joke to lead off this topic, but
record performance. What's going on here?
I don't know. I didn't mean to put that
like
up.
Random comments.
Yeah, that was an accident.
Dang it.
Kobe and DeMar in the fourth quarter today. They stepped up when the Bulls needed it the most. DeMar with 9 points, not the most efficient shooting, 9 points in the fourth quarter. Kobe White with 8 in the fourth quarter. The Bulls, keep in mind, scored 25 total in that fourth quarter. How'd you feel down the stretch about the performance from Kobe and DeMar DeRozan?
Listen, it's good to see Kobe kind of like, I love that the confidence hasn't waned at all, and that he's still shooting shots. And guess what? Tonight they went down, end up going 3 for 4 in the fourth quarter overall, went 4 for 6 in the second half in total. Very efficient second half for Kobe White. I thought that he did a really good job of just staying consistent, attacking. The one thing I will say, picking and choosing when he wanted to attack on Rudy Gobert down low. Thought he did a really good job of with Vooch as well, allowing him to get out of the paint a little bit, kind of stretching the defense out and then being able to attack. And of course, just knocking down big threes. That three that puts the game away being in his hands. It's good to see him take those shots, be able to knock down those shots, because normally you normally don't see DeMar pass out of those shots. I thought he was for sure going to just throw that up to the heavens and see what ended up happening there. But thought Kobe White's confidence there was a great thing to see. And then when you see DeMar DeRozan, I mean, DeMar DeRozan's DeMar. He came out in that second half, 12 points, very, very well, I don't know if I can say very efficient. 5 for 14 ain't very efficient, but in the fourth quarter, definitely got a little bit better there. Well, not really. 4 for 10. That tough shooting night for DeMar in that second half, but definitely had the that leadership quality that you were looking to see, and was trying to find people the entire night. Ended the night with 8 assists and did a good job just making sure that everybody gets involved. And when you got other people cooking, let them cook. That's all we've asked of DeMar the entire time, is just when other people are going, don't try to take the ball out of their hands. And he didn't do that tonight. So I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe stepping up and getting the shot going again is important. I'm not ready to say he's back yet, but this is a great foundation to build off on, and hopefully he can get back by the end of the season. 60% shooting from the night isn't bad at all. 6 for 10 from the field, 4-6 from 3-point range. The percentages look good, and just hopefully that continues for Kobe, because I'll tell you what, we're going to need Kobe White if we have any hopes of making it out the play-in, or even winning the play-in game. We're going to need Kobe White to be playing like they can. We've seen how when it's just DeMar without somebody to really step up and help him, how easy that is for defenses to zero in on DeMar. But also DeMar in this game, man, I know he didn't shoot necessarily the best percentage on the shots in the fourth quarter. He was 4 of 10 from the field, but you got to give credit to DeMar and just how he's always able to step up when the Bulls need it, man.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's a leader on this team, and I think he's more of a leader by action than maybe a leader by words. But you need that. You need that good mix of it. And the one thing that I love about DeMar is, like I said, he's allowing everybody to kind of find their way and figure themselves out. And I agree with you 100%. Kobe's got to step up. The 10 shots is still surprising to me. I think there's still something he's probably trying to work through to get back comfortable. I don't know if he's still a little bit gimpy after coming back from injury, right? But just like
gimpy is wild.
A little gimpy. That's not. Why is gimpy wild?
It's wild. We can't say nothing anymore, bro.
Can't say gimpy no more.
Do what you do, bro. Do what you're gonna do.
I wonder if there's something going on with him, because while he's shooting very efficiently, 10 shots is not the Coby White that we were seeing. The Coby White we were seeing was a guy who was listen, the ball's in my hands. I'm the number one on this team, and I'm trying to put up number one shots. And I'm trying to be the leader of this team. And I don't know if we've seen that since he's come back from injury just yet. Maybe there's a step towards it. I don't know if there's something nagging him, if there's something that, he's still dealing with that is causing him to feel like he can't be as effective shooting the basketball or attacking the bucket as he has been. But I mean, like it's been a little bit up and down for him in this time. And it's good to see him have more highs than lows. That was about to be crazy.
Pause, Pat. But I agree with everything. Let's hope. And the Bulls got an important game coming up tonight against the Atlanta Hawks, man. This game could be really important as far as the ending standings. And we'll see if the Bulls can actually string a couple of wins together in an important stretch where they're trying to create that separation in the play-in tournament. And, we'll be here after the game to break it down.
Yeah, an important stretch feels wrong. We're a 36 and 39 basketball team and an important. No, not like that. Oh, God. No, not like that, dog. Just saying, like, this is an important stretch for the Bulls. I know it is, but it's just like we're a 36 and 39 basketball team, and this is an important stretch of the season for us.
Yep. Last 7 games of the season, bro.
I mean, listen, we're up. What are we up now? We're still a full game ahead of the Hawks in the loss column, and I mean that's a good thing right now, I guess. If you're gonna have a play-in tournament game, you'd rather it be at home than on the road. So let's hope that we can keep that up. But hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. I guess in theory, this is a win night. We gotta get this music cracking. But follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. And hey! C-Red! Kobe's back! AC the attack! Watch for DeMar! He's a little too giddy. How Vooch was playing up in the third quarter. I thought he was at a party, but didn't. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.
You can follow me at CEO HAize. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. We are free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube and the Odyssey app. For Pat the Designer, I'm HAize. It's been Locked On Bulls, man. We out. We may be fired, but we out, y'all.
No, at this point, we here, dog. How many Diddy jokes are allowed to pod? Is that?
I'm sure we're over the limit.
Then we need to get clarification on that.